What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Wrenching on the Old Cummins. Sorry it's been a while since I've put new content on the channel, but I moved and not having the internet set up right away, and then work and kids and how the life goes. Plus, since I'm just a regular guy with a regular truck, I'm not somebody's neph's son burning Uncle Daddy's money on a jacked up truck somewhere. I kind of got to either fix the stuff as I'm able or when it breaks. I'm not going to fix something that's not broken, and unfortunately now is one of those times. So what I did is I kind of foofed my transmission. So I have to pull my truck far enough forward to be able to park, because my wife's vehicle, if I don't pull it far enough forward, the rear end sticks out in the sidewalk, and the city doesn't like that for some reason. So what happened was I pulled forward, I hit that spot right there, hit my e-brake, put the transmission in fifth, shut the truck off, and it slid backwards on this ice. And like a dumbass, because the transmission was now under load, because the truck rolled backwards, instead of pushing in the clutch, disengaging the parking brake, doing the right things, because, it was late, beer was calling me from the fridge, hey, come drink me. I grabbed a hold of the stick and went to pull it back to neutral, and I heard the metallic clink, like a pop tab sound, and now the transmission's stuck in fifth. Good news though, when I started the truck back up, again like a dumbass, because if I just broke something I would have made it incredibly worse by now having metal go back through the gears. It wasn't making all kinds of crunching and munching sounds, so I'm hoping, doing a little bit of reading on the forums, that all I did is either pop the transmission's stick here out of the range for the forks to actuate, and then what I can do is I can remove this boot, remove the shaft, remove the stub, remove the snap ring, and then use a long screwdriver, manually put the transmission back into neutral, cross my fingers, and hope that fixes it. Or what I likely did, and these transmissions, these GetRag G360 transmissions are known to be sensitive, is the drive pin that engages in the shifter down in the top cover that moves the shift forks around, that actuates the gears, is a known sensitive / weak spot in these transmissions, especially when you try to turn up the power, which is why a lot of people who own one of these first gens, if they get to this point, they just start squirreling away their acorns and shit can the whole transmission and go with a NV 4500 transmission, which was the transmission that came on the second generation before they had the NV 5600, which of course is the 6-speed that everybody knows and loves. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not someone's neph's son, and I'm not burning Uncle Daddy's money, and nor am I sponsored, so unfortunately I got to deal with the hand I'm dealt and try to fix what I have, which is why I post this content on the channel, and if it helps you guys out, so be it. So I've already got a little bit started, because I have this this nice aftermarket radio mount that came with this, because this vehicle was a fleet vehicle at one point earlier in its life. So what I'm going to do is I got to pull this dust boot off, pull this guy out, and I'll walk you through that. The bolts that sit down here are, let's see, what the hell size was that? Because I had to go through about half the sockets in my toolbox because I didn't know what it was. It's a 5/16 or whatever its equivalent metric is. And there was only 3 of the 4. And there's no way that this is the original dust boot. There's no way that after 30 plus years that it'd be original. Just kind of slide it up and out of the way. Now I got to pull these 2 out. So stand by, I got to put the phone down. I'm going to pull these out. Then once I do that, I got to pull these off. Let me see if that's the same size. It'd be nice if I got lucky that way. Hot damn. Look at that. So, pull this, get that out of the way, pull those 4, then I can get at the top of the transmission, and then we'll see what's up. Stand by, I'll be right back. Alright, so before I go to pull it, because the thing that is probably the most aggravating of any of these do-it-yourself type projects, especially if you've never done it before, is not knowing what size sockets or wrenches or anything you need. So I'll show you what I'm using as I'm going through it. These guys here, trusty old 1/2 inch. So let me go ahead and get that off, get this off, and I'll be right back. All right, and then you end up with something like this. So the other part on this to get this cover off the top of the transmission, there is a little, I already loosened it up so it makes it nice and easy. I can turn it. This guy right here is a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that off and see what it looks like down inside there. Hold on a second. Okay. So this guy, like I said, I didn't take that all the way off. And it's a good time to kind of inspect it. It looks kind of cruddy, but you know what, it's all right. It'll be all right. So, like I said, that guy there is a 1/4 inch. Now it's specialty tool time. As far as the only type of specialty tool that you'll need, I picked this guy up specifically for this job because I've kind of done snap rings before, but you got to be careful. And this is kind of, there is a that snap ring right there. You've got to excuse me, you got to squeeze that, pull that snap ring out, and then you should be able to get this stubby shaft out. So we go ahead and finagle that, hopefully not lose the ring or take my eyeball out, and I'll be right back. Well, it didn't kill me, but like I mentioned, you got to be careful because it is kind of a weird area real estate wise to try to get that out. Now when you pop that out, this is essentially what's going on here. Let me orient everything. So you have this snap ring holding this down, and this only goes in one way. See these little indents on the side? You really don't got to worry about that too much because this is the stub shaft that comes out. Set that somewhere where it won't roll away. And these two indents there align with these two screws, and if you want to, you could pull those out. I don't know if I can turn the light on and see in there, but there's a spring that sits here. And another common problem on these is, when the stick gets real sloppy, there's like no tension, it just kind of wants to do its own thing. This spring right here breaks, and then the stick's got a lot of slop in it, and there's a couple of things that could be going on that cause it, but usually that's the culprit. You disassemble the top of the shifter here like we're at, replace this spring, and away you go. Now bear with me here, I'm gonna see if I can turn the light on. Oh well. So now I'm gonna pull these guys out so I can get the spring out of the way, stick a screwdriver in there after I take a look at what's going on and see if I can get this transmission back to neutral. All right, stand by.